Now there was a picture that surfaced, which had you talking to Trinidad James. Now, what led up to that picture?
Well, originally, like, we all heard the comments he made in Brooklyn at the show, and I was devastated. And it wasn't so much as, like, I can admit that the South is definitely ahead of the game right now, but it wasn't what he said. It was the manner in which he said it. It was the place in which he said it, and it was the comments that he said after he stated that. You know, you don't come to someone's home and say, yo, you know, the South, we run y'all. You know, it is what it is, and whatever y'all want to do something, we could do it. And then you go into, you know, like, the hot rappers y'all got here might as well be from Atlanta. And, you know, the matter of fact, I don't even know none of y'all rappers. So y'all the bloggers is hotter than y'all. The bloggers from New York is hotter than the rappers here. Like, so I didn't get where that was, you know, after listening to his explanation, after watching your video of your interview with him, I didn't see the remorse in what he stated. I seen that, you know, he was getting backlash and he just wanted to say, yo, you know, I apologize. You don't say I apologize by saying, you know, I just stated the truth. And if somebody was offended, I didn't mean to offend you, but I was just stating the truth. Like, that's not an apology. You know, that's just like to shut people up, just to say, all right, you know, I did something. It wasn't a genuine apology. And, you know, I felt like you don't just come in someone's home and disrespect them with your truth, whether it's the truth or not. And you don't say it in a disrespectful man. It wasn't like you was trying to you wasn't saying, yo, you New York, man, you know, I used to look up to you. I want y'all to get back on, man. Like, what do we got to do? Like, y'all DJs ain't playing. Like, you wasn't saying nothing in regards to where it was supposed to help us. It was like you was trying to stun on us. Like, yeah, we run y'all. And, you know, only the bloggers is hot here. They hotter than the rappers. And the ones y'all got hot here, they might as well be from Atlanta. There was nothing in that conversation or that rant he went on that made me feel as if he was trying to big up or try to say anything to help the music. You know, try to help our situation. It seemed like he was trying to downgrade us in our home. And that made it more disrespectful. Had you just said that maybe somewhere else, maybe I just would have felt some type of way. But then for you to say that and then come back to New York as if it was okay without being checked. Like, I know if I said that in Atlanta, some nigga that's about something would have tried to check me in Atlanta, and I would expect that. I would expect for somebody to check me if I made those type of statements disrespecting anybody's city. I would expect that, and I would be willing to handle those consequences if those were statements I made. You know, so I wanted to see where he was at with this conversation. Where, like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Because, you know, I'm willing to accept the same way, you know, you and Mano had a conversation or whatever. You know, like, it ain't just Mano here. It's a bunch of us that feel the same way. Like, it's a bunch of niggas from New York that live and die, and they live this street shit. So when you start talking about we can do what we want, that's what I do. You know, I'm in the streets. I rap, but I'm in these streets heavy. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to just come here and challenge us on that level. Like, rappers are different. People want to say, oh, Kendrick said this. Kendrick made a statement about rapping. He challenged, and I accepted that challenge. I was one of the first people to put out a control freestyle. So when niggas go back with that, I'm not scared of nothing. Nobody walking this green earth. You know that, Vlad. So, you know, that's what led up to it.
Okay, so you found out that the Trinidad James is performing in SoulCon in New York, and you took it upon yourself to go to SoulCon.
Yes.
Okay. When you got there, what happened?
I mean, when I got there, I was downstairs waiting, and for a minute, and then I went in, and I went. It's crazy. Like, when I immediately walked in, they was there, you know, and it hurts, you know. It hurt me. It was a dude that I actually was up north with that was there with him, you know. And I guess they was holding him down or whatever. And he was with some dudes, and you know, other G's respect G's, you know what I'm saying? So he came to me respectfully and was like, yo, listen, you know what I'm saying? I respect you, boom, boom. You know, He wants to know if it's any way that y'all can settle y'all differences. And I expressed to him, and I was like, yo, our differences is the same differences you should have, beloved. Like, you from here. He came to our city and disrespected our city, so it's not just my difference, it's our difference. Like, if this is somebody that you mess with or you call whatever, or whatever you doing, you should have checked them. Like, yo, you're not from here. You don't come here saying that. If this is somebody that you regard or you holding, whatever it is, and this is what I expressed to him. And he had no choice but to say, yo, you right. But we here now, beloved. And, he wants to have a conversation with you, to see if it's any way possible that y'all can come to agree. I said, I don't mind having a conversation. I don't know where the conversation is going to go, but I don't mind having a conversation with him. And we went and we spoke as men.
How did the conversation go?
I mean, I'm not, my thing was this, my whole position in the whole situation was that, listen, you do not walk in someone's house and disrespect them with your truth. Because it's niggas that's willing to die for this. So if that's not what you will, if that's not your intentions, you don't do that. Because I'm willing, like, any nigga will tell you, if they know me, they know what I stand for, what I stand for. And you know what I'm saying? I live and I bleed for this New York shit, whether it's winning, losing, or dying, like, it is what is in my soul, you know what I'm saying? Because this is where I'm from, this is where I was birthed. And any nigga that's from here should have the same type of pride. And I wanted to make that clear to him. And he kept stressing to me that, it wasn't done out of disrespect. He was speaking. I kept telling him, you can't tell people that that's the truth. You can't keep saying that, saying you making an apology. You know what I'm saying? That's like you walking into a man's house saying, yo, your couch is ugly. Your wife is ugly, is fat. But I'm just speaking the truth. I ain't trying to disrespect you. I'm just speaking the truth. That's not your truth to speak. What's going on with our New York, it's not for your truth to speak. If you want to talk that amongst you and your friends in the barbershop, whatever, cool. But you don't walk in our house and seem as if you trying to degrade us. I'm not going to stand for that. And I'm willing to do whatever it's going to take for niggas to respect that. It's a long line. It started, Lil Wayne say he hate New York. Okay, that's an opinion. I wasn't really too happy about that, but that was that man's opinion. Because there's places I don't like. Kendrick Lamar said he was the king in New York. That was a rap thing. That was his opinion. I could take that. But when you start saying we run y'all and whatever you niggas want to do, we could do it. Now this is a whole nother challenge. So I needed him to understand. Because after watching him talk to you, after watching his apology or whatever, I didn't feel that he understood. I didn't feel he understood. And the reason why I didn't turn into nothing more, because the way he addressed me wasn't as if he was, I realized that, what I'm saying, dudes is good rappers, man. I'm a street nigga. So when you talk street shit to me, I get it. I immediately get into that mode. A lot of these dudes, they rap and they say shit and they don't really understand the ramifications. They never been in the jungle with lions and bears and understand that there are ramifications for your words. Your words are more deadly than anything. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's what my whole conversation was based to let him know. And I believe at the end of our conversation, he understood that. And he said, you know what? Somebody else told me, when you come to our city, just don't say nothing. And there was another nigga that lived by the same principles I get. I said, because that's how G's move. You can't say you a real nigga and a street nigga and you do shit like this, and then when niggas ready to step to that plate, you saying that's not what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? So, that was the whole gist of the conversation. And at the end of the day, I told him, I might never be a fan of your music. And I might say I don't fuck with your music. But I said, if the person that you present musically is the person you are, then we not the same type of people. So we always gonna conflict. But it's not to the point where I want to do harm to you. But for you disrespecting where I live and where I'm from and what I'm willing to die for, now that's something different. I might get on a record and say whatever about you. And if you feel some type of way, I'm willing to deal with those consequences. As a man. As any man should be able to. So I want y'all to be able to want to deal with those consequences when you say something. Because there's consequences to those words and those actions. You know, and I from the conversation we had, I think he understood that. And I said, so from now on, when you have these interviews and you make an apology, it can't start off, I was just speaking the truth, but if it offended you, I'm sorry, but that's not an apology. An apology is, you know what? My bad, I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize to New York. That's an apology. That's acknowledging that I was wrong. When you keep saying I'm speaking the truth, you're not saying I was wrong. You know, people keep saying he didn't apologize. If you listen to him, we keep saying, I'm just speaking. That's not an apology to me. You know, and it's not an apology to people here. And I said, so from now on, when you have these conversations and they interview you and you make an apology, apologize. Make it sound like, you know, I'm wrong. I made a mistake. We men. As a man, say, oh, you have to deal with what comes with not apologizing. That's the world we live in. You know, and that's the code I was born by, and that's the code I live by. Yeah, we shook hands like men, you know, and I said, you know, like I expressed to him, you know, we different individuals. The way you move is different the way I move. You know, so he stated that you dissed me before. I said, because what you represent to me is contrary to what I represent. So we conflict. The image that you putting forth is gimmick, is entertainment, but it to me it was demeaning what I do. Like, niggas die for this art. DMX is my mentor. Like, these is niggas that I was under, that's willing, that I watch, put every bit of their soul in. So when you come and say, yo, I just did this for a year and I'm feeling your film, cool. I'm happy that you're able to make money. But I'm not happy that you make it at the expense of an art that we cherish. And you don't mind demeaning it. I'm not happy for that. And I don't have to be. You know, as men, like you say, people have their opinion. I don't have to be happy. So if I made something, if it offended you, I'm not apologizing for what I said. But if it offended you and you felt that it was something else that you wanted to do, then you should have did it. You know, and that's what I stated to him. You know, because whenever I say something, lad, I'm willing to deal with the consequences of those acts. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the toughest, but I'm a man, and I understand what I say and I understand what I do. So when I do something, I can sleep good at night. I'm not gonna have to say apology. And if I do make a mistake, I'm immediately gonna apologize as a man if I acknowledge that as to be a mistake. But I'm not gonna apologize or fake apologize to appease people. You know, and then when you get approached again, you keep on. Like, you know, it just was too much for me.
It's a lot of fans. The guy sold what? About damn near 800,000 the first week. So it's a lot of fans that like Drake singing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's all he gives a damn about.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, he's not signed to good music.
Yeah, man. I mean, I look at 2 Chainz as my good music brother. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the paperwork scenario of it, but I mean, we're all seasoned artists, man.